पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वतात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। So in the study of Srimad Ramayana, we were coming to a very dark phase. Of course, you can look at it as dark or optimistically, things can get better. The story is now going to take a turn whereby the main antagonist Ravana will enter the scene. It's a fantastic drama, the way the unfolding of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes happen, and it's fascinating the point of inflection, if you will, how things turn and change, and the drama has a completely new direction and orientation. And this begins in Aranya-Kanda chapter 31. Before we get there is something about Khara being killed that we discussed as a very important milestone in the Ramayana and in the life of a practicing devotee, or a human being going through life. Sri Ramachandra shows how without killing the Khara, Trishira and Dushana within, or at least setting oneself on a process by which the Supreme Lord can help a human being to do so, one cannot actually attain success in life. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 5th canto, Rishabdev tells his sons, Parabhavastavad abhodajataha yavan na jigyasataha atmatattvam. And he says, Karmatma, at the end of the verse, yavan na jigyasata atmatattvam yavat kriya tavad idam manovai karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. That unless one actually inquires into Atma Tattva, which is my identity, my relationship with the Supreme and my nature, my existence, unless one doesn't inquire such, because false ego prohibits or stops one or interrupts one from doing so, that such a person is parabhavaha, meaning defeated. Abhoda jata is born into a category of ignorant people. And he says, Yavat Kriya, and therefore, whatever kind of activities that one takes up or does is nothing but a reflection of the mind. Yavat Kriya, Tavad Idam Manovai. So, whatever we are doing in our day to day lives is an indicator or a reflection or a symptom of what the condition of the mind is. And he says, Karmatmakam, such as the mind, Karma Atmakam, Yena Sharira Bandha. Karmatmakam means it's the general fragrance or general condition of the mind. It is fruitive in nature, or it is filled with materialistic uh, desires. That's called karmatmakam. And because of that, yena, by which sharira bandha, one has to keep on taking another body because one is trapped in the sharira bandha. Now one has to become freed from such a bandha, from such a bondage. So how does one become free? By studying, by hearing, by speaking or hearing uh, the story of Khara, Dushana, and Trisharas. So in the Skanda Purana, there is a verse, apparently. I'm not a scholar of Skanda Purana, I'm not a scholar of any Purana, but Sri Maheshwara Tirtha, uh, in his commentary, gives what is called Phalastuti. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, after every episode, there is called a Phalastuti. Phala is the fruit. Why one should hear or give attention to certain topic and how it benefits a person. So he narrates this Phalastuti from the Skanda Purana. He says, Shrutva Sri Rama Vijayam. One who hears about Ramachandra's victory over these great demons. Papa bandhat vipramuchyate. One is freed from the karmic reactions, papa. Okay, what about something else? I've already done so many uh, sinful deeds. Tathaiva shrinkhala bandhat. Tatha eva shrinkhala. Shrinkhala means a chain. So one is bound by the chains of its reactions, papa and its chain of reactions. So one is freed of that also. Tathaiva shrinkhala bandhat. Okay. But I have to come back into this world because I am indebted to so many beings. He says, Rinabandhat vimuchyate. Shrutva pushpavati nari. So one who is a uh, fertile woman, if she hears Tanayam, she bears a child. Vamshavardhanam, and not just any child, a child that will make the lineage very famous. Labhate Raghavendrasya Prasadat, by the mercy of Lord Ramachandra. Raghavendra means the best of the king of the Raghu dynasty. Kirti Vardhanam, one's life becomes not only meritorious, one becomes famous. Famous is not just how the people of the world know me. Famous means that the demigods begin to recognize. The demigods really don't care for people on the earth planet. But Kirti is such that even the demigods, the Siddhas, the Charanas, the Vidyadharas, Lord Brahma, and all his associates will pay attention. Hey, who's that person? That is Kirti, fame. So I'll read the verse one more time. Shrutva Sri Rama Vijayam Papa Bandhat Pramuchyate Tathaiva Shrinkhala Bandhat Rinabandhat Vimuchyate Shrutva Pushpavati Nari Tanayam Vamshavardhanam Labhate Raghavendrasya Prasadat Kirtivardhanam. Now we turn our attention to chapter 31, and I thought a lot about how best to narrate what is happening. And the conversation is very interesting. The language used by Valmiki Rishi is also fascinating, obviously. He's empowered by Lord Brahma and Narada Muni to be able to relate it back. So I hope you won't get bored, but I was going to read the verses in the chapter and narrate the story. And if it is boring, you can text me. The next time I'll just summarize in my own words. Okay. So hear me out. Let's see how it starts. This is chapter 31. So Ramachandra has killed these demons. We heard Sita Devi has embraced him. All the demigods and celestial beings are beating kettle drums and saying bravo, bravo, Bhadram, Bhadram, or Jaya, and they're showering flowers. And the story, in terms of scene, Valmiki takes us to another situation. And that situation is, he says, Tvaramanaha tato gatva janasthana akampanah pravishya lankam vegena ravanam vakyam abravit. So there's this guy called Akampana. So Akampana literally Kampana means to tremble. Romancha Kampa. Kampa is to tremble. So generally people who are in fear tremble. And Akampana means one who never trembles. So he's fearless. That's his name. But this is the only fellow who did not fight the battle. One Sri Vaishnava Acharya comments that the reason Akampana did not die is because he was in the disguise of a woman. That's their so therefore Ramachandra will not even look at him or pursue him. So he escaped. He was a spy of Ravana. So Tvaramanaha means very quickly he left Janasthan and Pravishya Lankam Vegena. He entered Lanka with great speed and expediency and urgency. And Ravanam Vakyam Abravit. And he spoke to Ravana the following statements. He says, Janasthan Sthitha Rajan Rakshasa Bahavo Hata Khara Cha Nihatah Sankhe Kathanchit Ahamagatah. Oh, Ravana, in Janasthan, many Rakshasas have died. Khara cha. So the word cha, according to the commentators, means Dushana, Trishira, and all the other, the 14 big people that we talk about, Mahakapala, this guy's eyes was something, whatever the names we had read. So cha means Khara and everyone. Kathanchit ahamagat. And somehow or the other, I have come here. I've preserved my life to come and inform you this. Evam ukto dashagrivaha krudraha samraktah lochanah akampanam uvacha idam nirdahan niva tejasa. As soon as Dashagriva means the one with 10 necks or 10 throats, Ravana heard this. Krudha, he became very angry. How can Khara and all these great warriors of my harem die? And so Samrakta Lochana, his eyes became bloodshot, blood red. And he says, Idam Nirdaham Ivatej. And he spoke to Akampana with such anger and intensity as if he was going to burn Akampana and everyone around him. He says, Kena bhimam janasthanam hatam mama purasuna ko hi sarveshu lokeshu gatim na adhigamishati. He says, who is this person who's dead by the very fact that they have challenged my demons? They have cut their ticket to leave this world. Nahi me vipriyam krita shakyam maghavata sukham praptum vaishnavena api na yamena cha vishnuna. Vaishnavena api na yamena cha vishnuna. He says, there is nobody in this universe who can do something that is displeasing to me. Nahi me vipriyam krita. There's nobody. And including the great personalities, Maghavata, Indra, Vaishravana, Kubera, Yama, and Vishnu. Even they cannot live happily if they displease me. Kalasya cha api aham kalo daheyam api pavakam mrityum marana dharmena samyojiyutum utsahe. They have inspired in me, they have provoked in me this anger of such intensity that I will kill will kill death itself. Kalasya cha api aham kalo. I am the one. And daheyam api pavaka. I can burn fire. Mrityum marana dharmena. I can finish Dharmaraja, the Lord of Death. Sayojayutum utsahe, if they desire to fight with me or face off with me. Vatasya tarasa vegam nihantum api cha utsahe. I can completely curb the movement of wind. Daheyam api sankruddha tejasa aditya pavakoho. If I am provoked, then I can even make the sun and fire devoid of any illumination, meaning out of fear, they will not even rise, they will not even burn or shine. Tatha kruddham dashagrivam krutanjalim akampanam bhayat sandigdhya vacha ravanam yachate abhayam. When he heard this kind of anger, Akampana became so scared that he folded his palms and out of fear asked Ravana, please don't get angry at what I'm about to tell you. So Ravana assured him, okay, tell me, what is it? He says, Dashagrivo abhayam tasmai prapadadau rakshasam varaha sa vishrabdho abravit vakyam asandigdham akampana. So in a very unfaltering and trusting way, vishrabdho abravit vakyam, Akampana spoke, having been assured by Ravana, the supreme of the Rakshasa. So here we hear the word or phrase Rakshasam Varaha. There Prahlad Maharaj speaks to Hiranyakashipu and he says Asuravarya. Nate Vidu Asuravarya. Oh, great of the demons, greatest of the demons. There, Asuras. Here, the greatest of the Rakshasas. He says, Putro Dasaratahate Simha Samhanano Yuva Ramo Nama Mahasamkruddho Vritta Ayata Mahabhujaha. Well, there is a son of Dasharath Maharaja's son, okay, who is very much like a lion. And he had, that's his name is Rama Nama, Mahaskandho, I am so sorry, Mahaskandho. He has great mighty shoulders. Right? Vritta Ayata Mahabhuja, and his arms are long and very, very sturdy, very much like a lion. So if you notice, uh, Ravana's first introduction with Ramachandra is through his holy name, Ramo Nama. And he describes now Akampana, although he's describing the enemy, is such beautiful words. Then he says, Shyamaha Pruthuyashaha Shriman Atulya Balavikramaha Hatah Tena Janasthane Kharacha Sahadushana. This Ramachandra has incomparable strength and prowess. Atulya Balavikrama. Shriman. Shriman means he's very well endowed, he's gifted, he's handsome, beautiful. Shyamaha is dark in complexion. And Prithu Yasha, he brings, he's full of or intensely famous or glorious. And in Janasthan, he killed Khara and everyone else. Akampana vachah shrutva Ravano Rakshasadikaha Nagendra iva nishwasaha idam vachanam abravit. As soon as Ravana heard this, he began to hiss. Swasana means to breathe, hiss, like the king cobra. Nagendra iva nishwasaha. And idam vachanam abravit. This is what Ravana said. Sa surendrena samyukto Ramaha sarva amarai saha upayato Janasthana Bruhi Kinchida Kampana. He said, how is it possible? Did this Rama, come to Janasthan with Indra and all the other demigods? Ramaha Sarva Amarai Saha Surendrena. Was he accompanied by Indra and all the other celestial beings, demigods? Oh, Kampana, tell me. Ravanasya Punarvakyam Nishamya Tadakampanam Achachakshe Balam Tasya Vikramam Cha Mahatmanam. Then Akampana gave more details about the might and the might and strength of great Ramachandra. Mahatmana is Ramachandra, the great person. He says, Ramo Nama Mahateja Shrestha Sarva Dhanushmatam Divyam Astram Guna Sampannam Param Dharma Gato Yudhi. This Rama, this person by the name Rama, Mahateja, has a great effulgence. Shrestha Sarva Dhanushmatam. He's the best archer the universe has ever seen. Divya Astra Guna Sampanna. He is endowed with great qualities and also great weapons, astra. Param Dharma Gato Yudhi. And he is the person who has the best character. His conduct is flawless. Tasya Anurupo Balavan Rakshataksho Dundubhi Swanaha. Kaniyan Lakshmano Bhrata Raka Shishinibhanana. This is glorification of Lakshmana. Tasya Anurupo. There is someone else. Anurupo means a duplicate. Balavan Raktaksho. There is another person who's just a duplicate of him, but his eyes are red, which means he's fierce. Dundubhi Swana. When he speaks, it's like a big drum that goes dum, dum, very grave voice. Kaniyan means younger. Lakshmano Bhrata, younger brother called Lakshmana, Raka Shishinibha Anana. And his face is like a glowing full moon. Satena saha samyukta pavakena anilo yatha. Shriman Rajavaraha tena janasthan nipatitam. That sahatena sahayuktam. He, along with Ramachandra, they are like fire and its flame. Fire and firestorm together. These two, the best of princes, have decimated everyone in Janasthan. Na eva deva mahatmano, na atra karya vicharana. Shara ramena tu utsrushta, rukma punkha patatrinaha. Sarpa panchanana bhutva bhakshayanti sma rakshasan. And by the way, they are not any demigods. They are not any heavenly beings or anything. And you don't need to doubt whether they are some demigods in disguise. But when you see Ramachandra fire an arrow, Shara Ramena tu Utsrushta, when Ramachandra holds an arrow, and what kind of arrow? Rukma Punkha. The back of the arrow has golden feathers on it. And Patatrina. It has wings. It has wings of a particular nature. And then when he fires it, it becomes like a five-headed serpent. Sarpa panchanana bhutva bhakshayanti sma. And that five-faced serpent suddenly eats away all the rakshasas. Yena yena cha gachanti rakshasa bhayakarshita. Tena tena sma pashyanti ramam eva agratah stitham. Itham vinashitam janasthana. Tena tava anagha. Oh, Ravana, who, by the way, Anagha, you may be free of any sin, but here is something. Yena yena cha gachanti rakshasa bhayakarshita. Out of fear, wherever the rakshasas ran away, meaning they completely split asunder in all directions, tena tena sma pashyanti Rama. And wherever they ran away, that's where they saw Ramachandra standing right in front of them. Agratah stitham. So if they ran in the 10 directions, they saw Ramachandra standing in front of them. Itham vinashitam janas. And like that, Ramachandra decimated the whole of Janasthana. Akampanam Uchaha Shrutva Ravano Vakyam Abravit. Gamishyami Janasthana Ramam Hantum Sa Lakshmanam. As soon as he heard this, he said, I will go to Janasthan and I will kill Rama and Lakshmana. Atha evam ukte vachane provacha idam akampana. Shunu rajan yathavritam ramasya balapaurusham. He said, oh, hold on, Ravana. Atha evam ukte vachane. When Ravana said like this, Akampana said, Shunu rajan, please listen, my dear king. Actually, what happened in Janasthan and what is Ramachandra's actual strength? Ramasya bala paurusham. And in English is either called grit or paurusham means valor. He's telling him, oh, hold on, don't just think and first act and then think. Be careful. You have no clue. This Ramachandra is empowered with strength that you have never faced in your life. And he says, Asadhya kupito Ramo vikramena mahayashaha apa gaya tu purnaya vegam pariharet sharaihi. He says, this Ramachandra is so invincible, asadhya, kupito Rama. And if Ramachandra becomes angry, no one can stand in front of him. And the way he gives is apagayaha tu purnaya. The way Ramachandra's anger will flow, if you upset him, is like a massive river that flows with a certain power and speed. Like in Haridwar, although the water is still fast but does not have all the bubbly strength to it. But for example, in Haridwar, there are chains pegged to poles for people to hold and take a dip in the Ganga. If you don't hold it, the speed of the water is so much that by the time you dip and get up, you'll show up in Mayapur or perhaps somewhere else. So this, now from here on, look for some keywords as Akampana is speaking. And let me see if you write down or make a note of certain keywords that will indicate the Supreme Lord here. Asadhya kupito Rama vikramena mahayasa. So I'll put some emphasis so you know that's the one. Vikrama, first of all. Then he says, Sa tara graha nakshatram nabha api avasadayet asau ramah tu sidantim shriman abhyudharet mahim. This Ramachandra, by one shot of arrow, can completely shut down the entire planets, stars, constellations, the sky. Everything will just collapse in 1 second. This Ramachandra is so great. So be careful. You know of an incarnation who made the entire skies, planets, stars, the whole firmament completely insignificant in one step? Yes. And then he says, Asau Rama tu Sidantim Shriman Abhyudharet Mahim. If the earth is in a very fallen condition, Abhi Udharet, he can lift up the earth. So I'll give you the clue. The first one, Vikramena, is comparing Ramachandra to Vamanadev. Then when he says Abhi Udharayet Mahim, he can lift up the earth from its worst condition, is Varahadev. Now, in one sense, he is reminding Ravana of his previous appearances. Don't mess around. This Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and all the demons that came, the Supreme Lord took care of them. And he says, Bhitva Velam Samudrasya Lokan Aplavayet Vibhu. Vegam va api samudrasya Vayum va vidhameta sharai. When Ramachandra is provoked, he can stir up an entire ocean that you cannot hold back. Or if an ocean is angry, he can curb that ocean. And he can even curb the wind, which means he's like Yamaraj. Samhritya va punarlokan vikramena mahayashah shakatah shrestah sa purusha shrashtum punarapi praja. This great person is capable to destroy all the worlds, the three worlds or the 14 planetary systems by his valor, and even capable of creating the entire universe all over again. So, in Bhagavad Gita, we hear when Krishna says in the 9th chapter, I create and then I withdraw the entire universe and then I create it again, punah punah, again and again. So he's telling he's the supreme personality of Godhead, like Nahi Ramo Dashagriva Shakyo Jetum Rane Tvaya. Ravana, you cannot win over Ramachandra in battlefield. Rakshasam va api lokena swargah papa janai iva. Just the way Ravana, you cannot conquer Ramachandra, just the way sinful people cannot conquer the heavenly realm, which means they can never get there. They can never achieve heaven, how much ever they try. Similarly, how much ever you try, you cannot win over Ramachandra. Natam vadhyamaham manye sarvai deva asurai api ayam asya vadha upaya tat ekamana shrunu. He says, you cannot kill Ramachandra. This is my opinion. Aham manye. In fact, I think sarvai devai asurai api. If all the devatas and the demons get together and want to kill Ramachandra, they cannot do it. However, I have upaya, vadha upaya, tat ekamana. There is only one way by which you can finish Ramachandra. And listen to me, I'm going to tell you that one. What is it? He is so powerful, he can he can shut down the entire universe. He can face off with anybody in the universe. And if they all collectively also come against him, he will not be even the slight disturbed or vanquished, but he's very attached to his wife. Bharya tasya uttama loke Sita nama sumadhyama Shyama samavibhakta angi Stri ratna bhushita. By the way, Bharya tasya uttama loke. Now his wife, she comes from a whole different realm. Ravana, in your harem, this is indirect, in your harem, you have women that are of incomparable beauty. However, in Sita's presence, they will all be put to shame. Her name is Sita. Sita Nama. Sumadhyama. Her waist is very slender. Shyama. Shyama, in this case, means very youthful. A youthful and slender-waisted woman. Samavibhakta Angi. All her body parts are so perfectly well proportioned. Everything is so exquisite about her. Stri Ratna. She is the diamond among women. Ratna Bhushita. And she's studded with diamonds. Imagine Ravana, the lusty fellow, listening to this. Whoa. And he says, Na eva devi, na gandharvi, na apsara, na chapannagi. Tulya simantini tasya manushi tu kuto bhavet. By the way, She's very mature, meaning well proportioned, and she is not a goddess or demigoddess. She's not a Gandharva. She is not an Apsara or a Pannaga, means the female from the snake kingdom. Very, very beautiful, apparently. No. However, in fact, in this entire universe, there is no woman, na tullaya simantani. In this universe, there is no woman that can be compared to her to give you an example of her beauty. So here is what Ravana I suggest. Tasya apahara bharyam tvam tam pramathya mahavane Sitaya rahito Ramo nacha eva hi bhavishyati. Ravana, go there and Pramathya Mahavane, in that great forest of Janasthan, forcibly apahara, you kidnap her. Sitaya rahito Ramo nacha eva hi. And for sure, in the absence of Sita, Ramachandra cannot survive. He will be gone. Arochayat tadvakyam Ravano Rakshasadipaha Chintayitva Mahabahu Akampanam Uvacha. He really liked this idea. He thought about it. Chintayitva Mahabahu. He's great arms because he has to kidnap Sita. And he said to Akampanam, Badham Kalyam Gamishyamihi Ekaha Sarathina Saha. Aneshyami cha Vaidehim imam hrashto Mahapurim. Badham. Excellent idea, Akampana. Kalyam Gamishyami. Immediately. Kalyam means as soon as the sun rises in the morning, Gamishyamihi Ekaha Sarathina. I will only take one charioteer with me. Usually Ravana has great followers. He told everyone, just stay at home. I will go alone with only one charioteer. Aneshyami. Aneshyami means I will bring her. Vaidehim imam harashto. With great happiness, I will bring her into this great city called Lanka. Tat evam uktva prayayo kharayuktena ravana rathena aditya varnena dishah sarva prakashayan. So Ravana, next morning, got on a chariot that was pulled on by donkeys. Khara yuktena Ravana. So donkeys have certain great strength apparently. And his chariot was dazzling like the sun. Rathena aditya varnena. Sarvaha prakashayan. And it illuminated the entire surrounding. Sa ratho rakshasam indrasya nakshatra pathago mahan chanchuryamana shushubhe jalade chandrama eva. The chariot was shining in such a way and moving through the sky with such speed. Sometimes you see between the dark clouds, the moon moves like this. Actually, it's the clouds moving, but it feels like the moon is moving. And he says, Sa dure cha ashramam gatva tatakeyam upagatam. Marichena archita raja bhaksha bhojyai amanushaihi. So when he came this long distance from Lanka, he came to Tatakeyam. Tatakeyam Upagata. He came to the house of ashram of Tataka's son Maricha. And Maricha received him. Maricha, although is the uncle, but he is the king of the Rakshasas. So Maricha received him. Archito, he worshipped him. Raja, that king. Bhakshya Bhojyaihi. So Bhakshya Bhojya, although it's food, the idea is Bhakshya means snacks and sweets. And Bhojya means actual main dishes like rice, chapatis, bread, etc. And then he says, what kind of food? Amanushaihi. Amanushaihi means not fit for human beings or fit for Rakshasas. That kind of food. Great reception. And he says, Tvam swayam pujitva tu asanena udakena cha artha upahitaya vacha maricho vakyam abravit. Then he personally offered him a very nice seat, washed Ravana's feet and hands, and then said, Ravana, Kashchit Sukushalam Rajan Lokanam Rakshasadhipa Ashankena Atha Jane Tvam Yataha Turnam Upagataha. Is everything all right? Is everything safe? Sukushalam Rajan Lokanam. Is everything okay in your world? And please tell me, I don't know the reason. Ashankena na atha jane. I don't know what is your reason that you have come so quickly. Turnam upagataha. You've come to this place so in such a hurry. Eva mukto mahateja marichena sa ravana tataha paschad idam vakyam abravit vakya kovidaha. Ravana, who was a very, very good speaker, Vakya Kovidaha. He knew how to construct his sentences perfectly. Very learned fellow. He said to Maricha, Araksho me hataha tata Ramena aklishta karinaha Janasthana avadhyam tata sarvam yudhi nipatitam Tasya me kuru sachivyam tasya bharya apaharane. He said, Tata means my dear. Oh, my dear Maricha, I have come here because Rama has performed a very unbelievable task. Aklishta means very difficult to do, but done easily. Klishta is difficult, and aklishta means done easily. So, Janasthana Avadhyam Sarvam. He killed everyone in Janasthana. So, I've come here to seek your help. Sachivyam. Sachiva means friend. And Sachivyam means through your friendship, Tasya Bharya Apaharane. I need your help in kidnapping his wife, Ramachandra. Rakshasendra Vachah Shrutva Maricha Vakyam Abravit. When Maricha heard this Rakshasendra, the king of Rakshasas' words, he said, आख्यातकेन वा सीता मित्ररूपेण शत्रुणा त्वया राक्षसशार्दूल को न nandati. He says, Ravana, Kenava, who is this? Who is this person who's given you such advice? Because Mitra Rupena Shatruna, whoever is giving you this advice is actually your enemy disguised as a friend. Okay? Tvaya Rakshasa Sardula, you're like the tiger among Rakshasas. But na nandati. This kind of advice is not good for you. It is actually going to destroy you. This person who's giving you such stupid advice, don't follow it. Sitam iha anasva iti ko braviti bravihi me raksho lokasya sarvasya kah shungam chetum ichhasi. Who is this person who gave you this advice to capture or bring Sita? Anaswa, who told you bring Sita? This person is going to be the cause for you to destroy your own Rakshasa clan. The entire Rakshasa clan stands in danger. Protsahayati yaha chatvam sacha shatru asamshayan ashimukha damskram urdhatum cha ichhati tvaya. That whoever has motivated you to do something like this person wants to defang a snake or a cobra from its mouth through you. It's like telling you, there is a black cobra there. If you go and hold the cobra and pull out its fangs, nothing will happen to you. And you, like a fool, are actually going to go touch a cobra now. You know what will happen, right? By the way, cobra, you don't have to touch. They can squirt their poison almost 12 to 14 feet away. So then Maricha says, Karmana anena kena asi kapatham pratipadati. Sukha suptasya te rajan prahritam kena murdhani. This kind of kapatham, what you're going to do, kapatham pratipadita. What kind of path, what kind of wrong path are you about to take? This is like, he says, Sukha suptasya te rajan prahatam kena murdhani. It's like when you are sleeping nicely, somebody has taken a baseball bat and hit you on the head. Sukha suptasya, you're nicely sleeping and you got hit on the head. This advice is that bad. Vishuddham vamsha abhijana agrahastah tejo madah samstitha dora vishanaha udikshitum ravana na iha yuktah na samyuge raghava gandhi hasti. Ravana, you have a very, very wrong assessment of your own strength. In fact, you cannot even look Ramachandra in the eye. It's like staring at the sun. I mean, he didn't say that, but I'm giving an example. Ramachandra is like this mighty, mighty elephant that can crush your entire dynasty and lineage. And his trunk, that elephant's trunk, is so strong that it can just uproot everything that you have created and throw it away. And he's like this elephant who Gandhi Hastini. Gandhi means fragrant. So when an elephant is in the heat to to mate with a female elephant, he becomes maddened. Sometimes we hear, right? Vaishnava Aparad is called, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called it the mad elephant offense. Because what a mad elephant can do is by its strength destroy a nicely trimmed, sculpted, and well taken care of garden, manicured garden. It can just destroy in one shot. So he's telling Ravana, Ramachandra is like a maddened elephant if you face off with him. Asau rana antah sthiti sandhi valaha vidagdham raksho mrugaha nrusimha saptah suptah tvaya bodhayutum na shakyah sharanga punyo nishitah asti damshraha. If you face off with him, you are poking a lion. Nrsimha. Looks like a human being, but he's actually a lion. But in another way, Nrsimha means, by the way, in your previous life, you were Hiranyakashipu. And you got torn by Nrsimhadev. You're repeating the same story again. So it's like a lion whose tail is raised like this, because when the lion is angry, you'll see its tail nice and raised. And this lion has very sharp nails and sharp teeth and can kill deer like anything. And mind you, if that lion is sleeping, don't go wake him up. Supta tvaya bodhayutum na shakyah. Don't even try. So he's saying don't provoke Nrsimhadev. Chapa pahare bhuja vege panke shara urmimale su maha ahava oghe na rama patala mukhe Atighore Prasagditum Rakshah Rajayuktam. Ramachandra's bow is like a crocodile. Okay. And his shoulders, Bhujavega Panke, his shoulders are so strong, like a tide. And Shara Urmimale, and the arrows flow like tiny waves. Su Mahavaha Oghe. And these waves, Urmila or Urmimala is waves. But Maha Urmimala means tidal waves, tsunami. When Ramachandra's arrows come, they come like a tsunami. There's no rushing. Na Rama Patala Mukhe Ati Ghore. If you provoke Ramachandra, you will very quickly enter the mouth of Patala. You will enter the mouth and you will end up in Patala. Don't, please. Whoever is giving you this advice is a fool, and you are equally foolish to take this advice. Prasida Lankeshwara Rakshasendra. Prasida means be pleased with me. Lankam prasanno bhava sadhu gacha. You know what? Just go back to Lanka and you be happy there. Tvam sveshu dareshu ramyasva nityam Ramaha sabharyo ramatam vaneshu. Listen, Ravana, please quietly go back to Lanka and prasanno bhava. Just be happy there. Tvam sveshu dareshu, with your own wives, ramasva. You happily enjoy a long life of sporting with your wives. Ramah sabharyo ramatam vaneshu. And let Ramachandra happily enjoy with his wife in the forest. Don't mess up with for whatever you're going to do, don't mess it up. You live there and let him live here. Don't go provoke the lion. Eva mukto dashagrivo marichena sa ravanaha nyavartataha purim lankam vivesha cha gruham uttamam. Having heard this advice of Maricha, Ravana quietly came back to Lanka into his beautiful palace and quietly sat down in his house. That ends the chapter. And I'm going to pause here and see if you have any questions, comments. Is the style okay? I could not replicate Valmiki's description with my own words. So, any questions, comments, thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Dharmat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Ravana didn't ask Akampana ki why did all this happen? He knew, he knew why this fight happened with Kharadushan. And
So, yes, he didn't ask because he is assuming that Akampana is telling the truth. Akampana very nicely hid all the details that actually it was Shurpanaka who came and did something and attacked Sita and all of that. He wants Ravana to go there. So this is the incomplete information. And Ravana did not ask because Rakshasas don't think so much. Although he's a great person, as soon as he said that Khara Dushana Trishira, 14,000 demons, your main outpost outside of Lanka, the next big place got attacked, he wants to kill Rama and Lakshmana because they attacked us.
And why did Akampana hide those details?
You want to analyze the mind of a Rakshasa?
No, no, Prabhuji. I was just wondering ki Ravana is the king, and he should inform each and everything. If
Yeah, now wait. Ravana has come all the way to Janasthan. Maricha told him, just quietly go home. He said, Panga matlo. He went back. And now, who's going to come to tell him more? Shurpanaka. She's going to come, and you interestingly see how she narrates the details. It's be very different. She won't say that I caused the problem. Yeah, he's supposed to say everything, but that's how he narrated the story.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji. My
Krishna,
respects.
Hare Krishna. Somebody was asking in a very soft voice.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Basically, when we hear Akampana or Shurpanika's style of narrating the entire thing, what they have done, it is mainly telling the other person is wrong and we are right. So, is this a trait of Rakshasas among the human beings, which when we observe this quality?
Oh, good question. Being deceitful is an unhealthy, perhaps demonic quality. The deceitfulness is to only share incomplete truths or to share the truth incompletely. And speaking only that is one-sided, if you will. Yeah. So it's not definitely not a divine quality. And we'll see the contrast every time Ramachandra meets someone. They ask him, "Who are you?" He never hides anything. He just says, "I'm such and such. This is what I'm here for." And we're traversing through the forest. When he meets Hanuman, he says it. When he meets Shurpanaka, he says, whoever he meets, he just is very open-hearted. Or there's no duplicity in Ramachandra.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
You're welcome, Mata. Someone else also was asking, so please go ahead, whoever.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Kirti here.
Yeah.
Please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, when you said the mad elephant offense, so the madness there is because of sense gratification. Whenever we hear the mad elephant offense.
Well, it's not that the elephant is sense gratification. The idea is, you've heard the phrase, a bull in a china shop.
Right.
Right? Or what does it mean? A bull is not considered to be delicate, cautious. It's just mighty force that cannot appreciate the value of this delicate china, the very delicate pots, right? It just walks in and shatters everything. That's what it means. Mad elephant means elephant is not a gentle animal, and when it is maddened, it can destroy an entire carefully sculpted, manicured garden. That's sort of the analogy. So Vaishnava Aparad means you're opening the door for the cultivated, nice garden of bhakti in which a mad elephant has entered and destroys everything in an irreparable way. That's what the analogy of the elephant is. Not necessarily sense gratification or anything.
Sure.
It gives the magnitude of effect, what it means, what it does.
Okay. Thank you, bro. And you also mentioned in the verse the golden arrows of Lord Ramachandra.
The golden feathered arrows, yes.
What was the word that was used? I think that word was also used to describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in one of the songs.
I'm sure because he's golden colored. I'll have to search through. Give me a second. Meanwhile, if someone else has a question, I'm happy to hear.
Yes, Prabhu, one more question. That when Akampana was narrating the qualities of Lord Ramchandra, he also mentioned that he can stop the air. So you said that it's about like Yamaraj. So how? how can Yamaraj stop the air? I wasn't able to understand that.
Think of it in a simple way, rather than the universal way. When Yamraj takes away someone from their body, there's no more air movement, right?
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please explain all the senses, Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Prabhu, I have a question. How come Akampana can glorify the Lord that beautifully? On the other hand, even though by seeing just once, he was able to glorify that much. And on the other hand, we in the sense, I am not able to glorify the Supreme Lord and his devotees. What is the difference? Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't see. Well, I should say I don't see. I see an ocean of difference between you and Akampana. Of course, you're a Vaishnav. Akampana is speaking Ramachandra because he has seen Ramachandra, and Ramachandra's beauty is very captivating. So whoever it is, even if it is a Rakshasa or a Rakshasi, whether it is Surpanaka, Akampana, whoever, even in the greatest of anger and disgust, from their mouth, their description of Ramachandra is always fascinating. And they describe only his beauty, the stance, the way he stands, his arms and shoulders, his power. They can't say anything else. What will they say? Because they don't see anything that. That is the Supreme Lord. So that's what Akampana is narrating to Ravana. Although he's telling him, you take away his wife. That's the only way you can defeat Ramachandra. Now we cannot, we can in our own way. I'm sure we are. If you're not able to, and I'm surprised how you'll be able to continue bhakti. The glorification is there, may not be at this kind of intensity, but it will come by the grace of Guru and Gauranga, it will come. But we can be inspired that even a demon, that I should say inspired by a demon, we can be inspired that the Lord we are serving and hearing about and meditating upon can make even a demon glorify him. So we are already in a better place or a better condition.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
See, in Akampana, 1 second, Sthira. In Akampana, there is nothing called Anukulena, there's nothing favorable. I mean, after all the glorification, then the advice is giving him is take away his wife. There's nothing favorable there. But the beauty is unparalleled and the strength is unequaled. So he's speaking that. But the heart is dirty, telling him go steal his wife. That's don't look at the words Akampana is speaking, look at the intent. It's very bad. And Marica is telling Ravana, whoever is this one, he's hit you with a baseball bat when you're sleeping. It's like that. You can't even protect yourself. You can't defend yourself. This fellow is not, whoever is giving you this advice is not your friend. He's a very bad enemy disguised as a friend. So Akampana is not a great guy. Please see the heart, very dirty. Okay. All right, Sthira, go ahead.
I was wondering, how does Akampana know the details that he is mentioning? Like you described in great detail, he describes Lord Ramachandra saying, actually saying he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then how does he know?
He doesn't know. He's just saying words, and the acharyas are saying that this is a method by which, even in his uh, ignorant words, there's actually a whole glorification, and it's called something. Um, I'm trying to look for that word. It's called. It starts with a V. Vyaja. I'll pick it up. This is like when in Krishna's pastimes, when that fellow who stuck two arms to himself and said, "I am Vasudeva," Poundraka. And Poundraka insulted Sri Krishna like anything. But in all of his insults, actually there are truths that the acharyas say that, it is an indirect glorification, or we can hear it as glorification. So, for example, I think he tells Krishna, "What is this? You are now here fighting this war as if you're a Kshatriya, but you grew up with cowherds people. So actually, your varna is not to be determined, right? And if you tell someone you have no varna, which means that your birth is dirty. Generally, if you don't know if you're a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya, if it's not pure or thoroughbred, then that is an insult. But the acharyas explain, yeah, you cannot say Krishna belongs to Vaishya community or Kshatriya community, because the Supreme Lord has no varna. He is the source of all the varnas, but he doesn't have a varna. That's correct. So Krishna's varna is indeterminate. That's correct. So like that. So there is a Sanskrit phrase for it, which I'm losing right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So when Ravana heard about what Akampana said, did he think that Rama is strong now and he did not directly fight with Rama before just going and taking away Mother Sita? So if he thinks he's very strong, why did he not fight with Rama directly instead of taking away Sita?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
So when Ravana heard from Akampana, did he think that Rama is very powerful, and then that is why he stole Mother Sita without fighting with him directly?
Yeah, Maricha and Akampana both told him, "Don't be stupid. You will be destroyed. Entire Ravana, entire Rakshasa clan will be destroyed. So don't fight with him. Don't mess with him." So Ravana did not face off with Ramachandra. He, like a jackal. You've seen the National Geographic video when a tiger or a lion chases a deer and kills and eats. The hyenas, they don't fight. They will come and distract the lion, and when the lion is fighting with one hyena, the other hyena will take a little piece of meat and run away. Because it doesn't have the strength, prowess to face off with a lion. So it is a very, very low grade sense of power. Although Ravana loved fighting, when he heard from Maricha, don't be foolish, he didn't. But he wanted to hurt Ramachandra, so he kidnapped Sita.
So he had this pride that no human can kill him, right? So there he had that. He accepted that Rama is more powerful and he can be killed. He had that fear too that Rama might kill him?
Well, we don't know fear, but he got good advice from Maricha. So he
Yeah.
went back.
Okay.
Interesting, no? Ravana actually heard Maricha's advice.
But I
And
think
then you'll see what will happen after this. And then he will come back to Maricha and tell him, do as I say or I'll kill you.
yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So even in a demon or a Rakshasa, good association can penetrate through. But then it all depends on the orientation. If he orients himself or herself to good advice, then they can become uplifted. If they orient themselves to bad advice, then they become degraded. So the verse in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Krishna says, Uddharayet Atmanam Atmana. You can upgrade or you can uplift yourself through your mind, or you can degrade yourself through your mind. It all depends on what input you're accepting in your mind. And Ravana is the personification of the contaminated mind. So even if he got good advice and he thought about it, he's now very quickly going to open the door for bad advice, because that advice, in comparison to the joy or the not the joy, the anticipated dreaming joy of enjoying Sita's body, that makes him go and do foolish things.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. That's
This is the travesty of the conditioned mind. Parabhavastavad abodha jata yavanna jigyasata atmatattvam yavat kriya tavad idam manovai karmatmakam yena sharira bandha. This is a fantastic set of verses, this verse from Rishabdev's teaching in Bhagavatam. Very, very, very. So what choices we make depends on what's being cultured inside. What's being cultured inside depends upon what input is we are accepting.
this is everyday battle, Prabhuji.
Every day battle. Exactly. You said it right. You're reading my mind now. Be careful. I have to shut it down.
It's all the mental concoction about all different kinds of enjoyment.
Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Final anything before we say Haribol?
Yes, Prabhuji, one more question. Like Akampana told Ravana about Lakshmana as well. But
Yes.
I mean, Lord Ramchandra said ki you can take Sita, and Lakshman didn't spoke. So how can he tell that his voice is so grave? And he even described about Lakshman.
So in Janasthan, very good question. In Janasthan, Akampana is there. And they have been hearing about Ramachandra because all the demons are also there. Second, Shurpanaka is also there. No? She is also in Janasthan. When she went to Khara, Akampana is there. When she came back and she heard what Lakshmana did, so he said, Dundubhi Swanaha. Yeah, I'm sure he has heard Lakshmana speaking. Something Lakshmana has said that Akampana has heard.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, even then, Ramachandra's, he said, no, he is Anurupa, exact replica. You can't tell the difference between the two. So Ramachandra's voice is like that, like grave, and so is Lakshmana's. But yes, I'm sure he has heard more than this. He's been there in Janasthan. He's a spy. Remember, spies we don't see, but they're there. And in any countries, there are spies that are getting information and can't be identified easily.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Just to add to what you said, Prabhu, there is a commentary which says that in the beginning of Aranya-Kanda, the sages were speaking to each other in whispers. And that is because the demons are present in various forms throughout the forest, overhearing their conversations. So definitely, as what you said, Akampana could have heard Lakshmana speaking in various ways.
Possible. Excellent. Thank you. We know Vatapi and Ilvala would dress up, would take on the forms of other brahmanas and sages like that and invite them to a meal. Thank you, Shamkar. Okay. We will meet Ravana, Shurpanaka again next Saturday. Until then, may the beautiful Sita, Rama and Lakshmana protect us and inspire us in ways that are purifying and uplifting. And there are these beautiful verses that talk about Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana, such a beautiful verse that we may be inspired and they become the object of our meditation. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.